Good little session today. Still in my deload week, and I'm starting to feel antsy, like I need to get back to actual lifting, you know? I did a warm up with some kettlebells, nothing fancy or structured, didn't even count reps. Just went from a 35 to a 45 to a 55. Did some intermittent overhead squats. I only showed a few of them, but they were basically sets of 3 to 5 with the bar. I think I ended up at 65. Playing with the weight, just trying to get a sense of it, just trying to understand my wrist and my elbow in this motion. I've done tens of thousands of two-hand swings, but I never really spent any time on the one-hand swing. I mean, I would do a side lateral kind of one-hand swing, but I never really went heavy with that, and I never stuck with it long enough to actually get good. So I don't know, at least right now I'm enjoying this as a warm-up. I don't see, well, let's say the future's in charge, right? I'm not gonna decide I'm gonna keep doing this. But it's been too cold. I just don't want to pull my sled. It's not so cold. I live in Georgia. It's not so cold that I can't pull my sled. But what happens is I pull my sled to warm up, and when I get back into the garage, I'm colder than when I started. And that's just impractical, right? I mean, that's not a warm up. That's doing the opposite. And so these kettlebells are working great. I'm really building some good heat, getting some good motion in my body, you know. And I'm also doing some relatively unambitious stretching before I get to this. So yeah, this is an 8-minute video, and I'm at minute 2. I don't know how I'm gonna fill this time. After this, I went on to one-arm deadlifts. Those felt great. I stopped at 185, but I could have easily gone heavier. I think I probably had 225 today. And honestly, I'm kind of proud of myself for not going for it. This being deload week, going for a new max, or at least hitting the same number as my max, would really defeat the purpose. Near as I understand deloading, which is not something I've ever really done effectively in the past, so you'll forgive my ignorance if I'm wrong about this, but deloading is about not stressing yourself out, you know? And I could certainly pull 225 with one hand today. I absolutely could do that. The question is, and I'd feel good about it, you know, but it wouldn't be the stress I feel today. It would be the stress I feel tomorrow. Like, how recovered is my nervous system going to be from something like that? I'm watching these cleans, and I'm feeling like I'm not hitting exactly the right spot on my arm. So that's gonna need some practice. My forearm's kind of straight up and down, and what I think you need to hit is I'm trying to think of the degree on the elbow, 15 degrees out, something like that. And here I am just trying to catch my breath a little bit, ready myself for the next piece of this. And then yeah, man, that's all I have to say. Kind of stuck here, twiddling my thumbs. Deload's relatively boring, you know? And I think that's part of the point too, is you give your mind a break. You know, you stop grinding. That grinding matters. Over the last 500 days, one of the things I've learned is that it's great to work hard when you have a full head of steam, you know? But the problem is it doesn't set you up for the future. You know, you eventually hit a wall. And in the moment hitting that wall, it might not seem that serious. Oh, well, I knew this was inevitable and I knew it was going to happen. But you have to get up the next day. And if you're still in the same mindset, that means you have to hit that wall again. I find that very unpleasant. I don't know, maybe some cats are better at it than others, but I find if I hit a wall and then the only path forward is to continually hit that wall, I don't like that, you know? That's not a recipe for maintenance that I can adhere to. So I'm somewhat relieved with my new plan to just not be doing that. When I stopped for the deload, I had just accrued a couple tweaks. I had a little ankle issue, little hip issue, little shoulder blade issue, and they were very, very minor, not even worth talking about. But I'm just a couple days into my deload, and they're all better. They're completely gone. And like, I hate it when conventional wisdom or the expert opinions are right, but I really do think they're right about this. You know, somewhere in the ballpark of 3 to 5 weeks of like hard pushing, and then 1 week where you just chill out and play, cut the volume by half at least. And yeah, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, and I'm excited for the next half of my block. I don't know. I'm curious to see what my 2 rep maxes will be. And I'm also trying to really convince myself not to go for a 1 rep max. Just 2 rep maxes. Like save 1 rep maxes for maybe another block in the future, or maybe 2 in the future. Here we go. One arm dead. I think this is 135. So with the in between the leg movement, you can take, now this is like competition standards, you can use your hand on the other leg. I didn't believe it either, but there is an organization that allows competition in this movement, and that's how they do it. So like, it can be verified. I forget the name of the competition, but it feels weird to have your hand on the leg, and it feels weird not to, you know? Like, in one sense, it completes the human body circuit. You don't have an open end, and so you can generate more confident force, but it feels like you're cheating a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little bit like I'm cheating with this. I think that's 170. It moved pretty well. I'd like to get a little more upright than this, but yeah. And the last one is 185, which moved better than the 170. So this is it for today, guys. This is Joe in real life. I love you all. Be good to each other. I got a long day at work, so I'm gonna strive hard to do the same. I'm gonna try to not take out my misfortunes on strangers, which feels like a good goal for the day. And yeah, man, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna try another weird lift tomorrow. I don't know what yet, but something fun, something stress-free. All right, so until then, peace.